This just broke on the NFL's backroom floor and is catching the attention of all Eagles fans. The Philadelphia team is eyeing a former Saints player who could completely change the future of the defense, a player no one expected to return to fame so quickly. The former second-round pick of the New Orleans Saints is about to try out with the Eagles, and expectations are high. I received exclusive information about this potential transfer, which hasn't even reached the major portals yet. But before revealing all the details and what this could mean for the team's defense, if you truly love the Eagles, like and subscribe to the channel, because what's coming is going to be hot. In a move that could shake up the NFL's backroom floor, the Philadelphia Eagles are eyeing former New Orleans Saints player Isaiah Foskey. The defensive end, selected in the second round of the 2023 draft, now has the opportunity to prove his worth with the Eagles after a modest stint in New Orleans. CBS Sports' Matt Zenitz revealed that Foskey will try out with the Eagles next week, after also being evaluated by the Chicago Bears. Foskey arrived in the NFL with high expectations after excelling at the University of Notre Dame, where he accumulated 26.5 sacks in 41 games. His college performance put him on the radar of several franchises, and he was drafted by the Saints in 2023 as a promising defensive lineman. However, adapting to the professional level proved more difficult than expected. Despite his evident talent, Foskey failed to establish himself as a starter in New Orleans, recording just 25 tackles and 1 pass deflection in his rookie season. Foskey's history in New Orleans was marked by failed attempts to find his place on the Saints roster. With the team seeking defensive reinforcements, Foskey never managed to stand out enough to be an integral part of the starting lineup, which ultimately resulted in his departure from the team. Despite this, his age of just 24 still guarantees significant development potential, and the Philadelphia Eagles decided to give him the chance to revitalize his career. This type of transfer is nothing new for the Eagles. The franchise has a remarkable ability to revive the careers of players who are on the decline. Last year, the Eagles brought Zach Bond, formerly of the Saints, to the team, and he had a successful season. This raised expectations about Foskey's potential impact, considering he still has much room for improvement. Foskey's arrival to the Eagles would be a gamble on a talent that has not yet been fully explored. If he can adapt to Philadelphia's defensive scheme, he could become a key player on the defensive line. The team already has a solid defense, but there is always room for more depth and energy. Foskey, with his youth and college experience, has what it takes to shine in the NFL if he can find his place in Philadelphia. The timing for this evaluation couldn't be better. With the NFL season approaching and a crucial matchup against the Dallas Cowboys on the horizon, the Eagles are paying close attention to every move that could improve their defense. Foskey's arrival for a workout could be more than just an evaluation. It could be the beginning of a new phase in the player's career, or even a failed attempt at a renewal. With his youth, Foskey has the potential to become a difference maker on the defensive line, something that could be very useful in crucial moments of the season. The Eagles need players capable of playing with intensity and versatility, and Foskey, with the right guidance, could be exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles defense needs to become even more unbeatable. The tryout with the Eagles is a unique opportunity for the player to show that he can be more than just a potential project. If he performs well, Foskey could secure a roster spot and have the chance to write new history in the NFL, becoming one of the biggest surprises of the season. Otherwise, he could be just another name on the list of unfulfilled prospects. Whatever the outcome, the decision to bring Foskey to practice demonstrates the Eagles' confidence in his potential. With Foskey's future at stake, all eyes will be on next week, when he will attempt to prove his worth in Philadelphia's training camp. But while the Eagles weigh the chance to turn a forgotten talent into a star, another, even more pressing issue is tugging at fans' hearts: injuries, which could determine the course of action in the first game of the season. As the Philadelphia Eagles prepare for their season opener against the Dallas Cowboys, injury updates for some key players have been a significant and controversial topic. While there is reason for optimism regarding the status of many players, there are still some uncertainties that could impact the team in the first few games. The biggest positive news for the Eagles is the return of starting left guard Landon Dickerson. Dickerson has battled back issues and a meniscus injury, but has been a solid presence in practice this week. His return to the offensive line is crucial for the Eagles, especially in protecting Jalen Hurts and establishing the running game, a cornerstone of the team's offensive strategy. With a strong line, the team will be able to face the Cowboys' fearsome defense head-on, which is a huge relief for Philadelphia's offensive plans. In addition to Dickerson, promising safety Andrew Mukuba also received good news. After a concerning hamstring injury that sidelined him for part of the preseason, he returned to regular practice. While his starting position is still uncertain, expectations are high, especially considering Mukuba's strong preseason performance. With some key defensive backs missing, his contribution could be vital on defense, especially if he can maintain the performance he showed before the injury. However, not all the news is positive for the Eagles. Quarterback Tanner McKee, who injured his thumb during during the preseason against the New York Jets, is still recovering, and his status remains uncertain. McKey's absence has raised concerns about the depth at quarterback, especially since his immediate backup, Sam Howell, remains unknown. McKey's absence could mean the Eagles will need to rethink their strategy regarding Jalen Hurts' backup in the early weeks of the season. This scenario adds further complexity to the quarterback situation. While McKey has shown potential as a third-string quarterback, his recovery is not yet guaranteed in time for the start of the season. Amid this uncertainty, the Eagles are also facing challenges with Kyle McCord, another quarterback who may not be ready to step into a prominent role. This has led the team to consider Howell's return, further increasing tension over quarterback depth in the upcoming games. The opener against the Cowboys, always a difficult and rivalry-filled matchup, could be even more challenging for the Eagles if the quarterback depth issue isn't resolved. McKey's absence in the first few weeks could force the team to rely on Howell, or even seek alternatives in the emergency quarterback market. The fact that the quarterback position is shrouded in uncertainty creates an additional layer of complexity for a team that already has high expectations for the season. However, the good news about the returns of Dickerson and Mukuba offers a silver lining for the Eagles. If the offensive line is well protected and the defense has a player like Mukuba who has shown great potential, the quarterback issues could be minimized, especially early in the season. With the season opener approaching and tension surrounding the status of McKey and Howell, the Eagles will need to make quick strategic decisions to ensure their team is ready to face the Cowboys and the tough season ahead. The good news is that, despite the difficulties, the team has the resources to overcome these challenges and continue toward its season goals. And if injuries already leave fans apprehensive, ESPN's analysis adds fuel to the fire. After all, could the Eagles' biggest weakness lie precisely in the area that has always been the most reliable? As the Eagles approach the new season, one area of concern for analysts, including ESPN, is the state of the secondary. In recent seasons, the Eagles' defensive backfield has been one of the team's strongest units, but as 2025 approaches, it's clear that Philadelphia's secondary is facing some growing pains. The departures of safety, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and cornerback Darius Slay have left the Eagles with holes to fill. Veteran Adoree Jackson was signed to potentially stabilize the cornerback position, but his competition for the starting spot against Kelee Ringo is tight. Rookie Andrew Mukuba has also shown flashes of brilliance, but his injury history raises concerns about his ability to contribute consistently. The Eagles have been proactive in addressing this issue, with general manager Howie Roseman acquiring Jackson and making trades during training camp. The question remains, will these moves be enough to fill the gaps left by the departures of Gardner-Johnson and Slay? To add to the intrigue, Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio faces an interesting challenge: how to utilize Cooper DeJean, who is expected to play both safety and nickel. Will DeJean and his defensive teammates, like Reed Blankenship and Quinion Mitchell, be able to withstand powerful offenses like the Cowboys? It's an open question that will likely determine the Eagles' defensive success or failure in 2025. With roster moves involving former Saints player Isaiah Foskey, worrying injury updates, and questions about the Eagles' secondary, can Philadelphia resolve these uncertainties and deliver a dominant defensive performance against the Cowboys in Week 1? Or could these challenges put the team at risk early in the season? Leave your opinion here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.